In my last video, I broke down leave-in conditioners, and I showed how my hair fully dries when I add water back in versus when I don't, using 3 different leave-ins. That was to show why water and leave-in conditioners are the foundation of a good wash and go, and how porosity affects what your hair does once it dries. Today, I want to zoom out a little and talk about something people seem to think is impossible: being a straight natural, moving between curly and straight hair. One of the biggest misunderstandings about curly hair is that you have to pick a side, and you don't. You can wear your hair curly and you can wear it straight, and both can be healthy. And this video isn't about rules telling you what you should do. It's about being strategic so you can move between styles without fighting your hair or damaging it. For a little context, I grew up as a straight natural, and I had a little advantage. My mom is a hairstylist. I grew up in the Dominican Republic in the 90s and moved to New York City when I was 9 years old. And throughout all those years, I had a front row seat at how hair is styled and maintained in Dominican hair salons. At the same time, I was lucky to have my mother fix my mistakes as I was experimenting on my hair growing up. She often guided me on how to make things better instead of starting over. Right now, I'm mostly wearing my hair curly because the weather in Texas is hot and unpredictable. But wearing my hair straight in the future is not off the table. And before we dive in, I have a free curly to straight guide on my blog. If you want a breakdown, you can come back to later. One of the biggest misunderstandings about going natural is that people automatically think your hair is going to be curly. And that's not really what it means. When I use the word natural, I'm not talking about curl pattern. I'm talking about hair that is chemically untreated. You can be natural and wear your hair straight, and you can also be natural and wear your hair curly. But stopping heat or chemicals doesn't bring your curls back overnight. Curls won't just show up because you stop straightening your hair. Your hair has to slowly return to a state where it can move, bend, and behave how it naturally does. And that takes time and patience. This is usually where people start to get frustrated. They go from straight to curly or curly to straight without a plan. When you go from straight to curly without a plan, it usually looks like frizz, uneven texture, and confusion about what your hair actually needs. On the other hand, going from curly to straight without protection can actually weaken the hair, even if you don't notice the damage right away. So switching styles isn't the problem. The problem is switching styles randomly. And how you move between styles matters more than the styles themselves. For some people, that looks like wearing their hair curly most of the year and choosing a specific window in the year where they can wear their hair straight. That could be for the holidays, special events, or just a month where straight hair fits their lifestyle. After that, they transition back to curly and let their hair recover. Other people go back and forth throughout the year, but for this video, I'm focusing for people that move between both. If you're someone that plans to go back and forth consistently, the biggest thing to remember is that your hair needs different support depending on how you're wearing it. The products, habits, and maintenance that work for your hair when it's curly will not be the same ones that protect it once it's straight. When your hair is straight, minimizing repeat use of heat is everything. Wrapping your hair at night before bed can make a huge difference because it helps you maintain shape without having to use heat over and over again. That's where a lot of damage starts. Not from straightening your hair once, but from constantly touching up. Personally, when I was going back and forth more often, it was usually when my mom was still doing my hair. And to be honest, straightening your own hair is really hard. Using too much heat when you're trying to fix specific sections is the fastest way to get damage. I prefer roller sets and blow drying over using the flat iron. I don't love flat irons, and I generally believe that hairstylists that know how to blow dry properly have a real skill. Flat irons have become the norm because they're faster, but blow drying correctly takes technique. So when I think about back and forth styling in a healthy way, it looks something like this. When my hair is curly, I focus in strength and moisture. That might mean doing a treatment, whether it's protein or moisture, to prepare my hair for heat. When my hair is straight, the goal is to maintain the style, not to keep restraining it. I avoid daily touch-ups with the flat iron because that's usually where damage begins. A good rule of thumb is to give your hair a few days between heat applications and to use a heat protectant every single time you apply heat. That part is not optional. If you're able to extend your straightened hair through the end of the month, you can use that natural buildup and texture to your advantage. damage. Wand curls tend to hold better on hair that's not freshly washed or overly soft. When I transition back from straight to curly, I personally like to use a protein treatment. I find that this gives my hair the strength that it needs to form curls again. After this, I wear my hair curly for a few weeks just to give it a break before wearing it straight again. Seasonally, this matters. I'm one of those people that prefers to do straight hair in the cooler months and curly hair in the warmer months. And if I'm working out hard and sweating constantly, then I just wear my natural curls because it just seems like the more realistic option. The point isn't that there's just one correct schedule. The point is that your routine should match how often you switch styles. If you choose to straighten your hair, what matters most is how you protect it, not avoiding straightening it altogether. Straightening your hair doesn't automatically mean damage. Damage comes from repetition without strategy. If you want to go deeper into how to do this safely and intentionally, I wrote more about it on my blog. You can find the link in the description box below.